Hi everyone, and welcome to this Fantasy Art Friday video. In this video I'm attempting a drawing of a steampunk robot, and I've had this idea listed down for a long time, and I've been super excited about finally attempting it. I attempted my first steampunk drawing a few months ago, and I found it extremely fun to just start off with basic shapes and then continue to add layers of detail on top. And it kind of reminded me of when I was a lot younger. I used to spend so much time working on drawings of cars and planes, and just developing the layers of detail and just continuing to refine and render those shapes. And so that's why I've really looked forward to attempting steampunk again. Working through technical drawings like this, adding lots of tiny details and just varying all the different shapes and features, it's just something that I love to do. So as you can see with this drawing, I added a bunch of valves and pipes and wires and metal plating with lots of nuts and bolts, just adding lots of features as I worked my way across the drawing. I also chose to have a comic panel in the background so that parts of the robot could be overlapping that, so it kind of helps to push it out of the page. And in terms of the outlines, I was using a Copic Multiliner SP 0.03. When I eventually completed the outlines and I was happy with the details I added, it was then time for the colouring, and I chose to use Copic Markers for this. So my idea for the metal plating was to have a variation in the colour so that it wasn't all just one grey tone. So along with using Cool Grey 3, 5 and 7, I was also using a champagne marker to add a nice rust colour. Then on top of that, I added more shading with the cool grey markers, because I was imagining that the light source was shining from the left, so I was placing shading along the right side of some of the features. Then for another layer of detail, I was adding highlights and some scratches, and some extra details to the nuts and bolts along the metal plating, with a mixture of my Uni-Ball white ink pen and my white Prismacolor pencil. Within the robot's eyes and its chest, I really wanted these areas to stand out and really look like they're glowing bright orange and yellow, so I used a mixture of honey and orange Copic markers for this. Along with these areas, I also wanted the wires to stand out as well, so I used a crimson marker for them. And I'm really glad I chose to add some bright colours to these areas, just making these little details stand out and just making them sort of catch the viewer's eye. That was my hope with them, and I really hope it worked out. Once the robot was completely coloured in, it was then time for the background within the comic panel. I actually started off by using a pale heath marker, which is kind of a light pink. But in the end, I opted for using a mixture of honey and light reddish yellow. I really wanted these colours to match the colours within the robot's eyes and its chest. I thought that this would be a really great idea to complement those areas and just make them stand out even more. And after that, it was time to add the steam, pouring out of all the different exhaust pipes. So I used a 6B pencil for this, and I roughly shaded in some areas. Then I used a blending stick on top to smooth the shading outwards and upwards towards the top of the drawing. And then after that, this drawing was completed. Overall, it took about 7 hours to complete, and I think most of the time was spent on the outlining, but I had an awesome time working on that, and I loved working on another steampunk drawing. This is such a fun style to work with, and I would love to work on more in the future. So please let me know what you think, and also let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. If you'd like to see more art videos like this, then feel free to subscribe, and any likes or shares on this video, they really mean a lot to me. If you want to follow my progress and see photos before I post these videos, then please check out the links in the description box below to check out my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you all soon.